This week, Gucci Mane says he's dropping his whole label. And Tommy Richman says he's going to submit his album and his song in the rap category. Let's talk about it.
The STEM Society.
What's going on, socialites? It's your boy Cole Jackson, back with another episode of the STEM Society. Episode 65 is live. We got 5 more until we get to 70. I'll be at 100 before you know it. Man, I hope you guys had a great week. Thank you guys for joining me. What a weird week for me. It's just a weird week for me, man. I don't know. Music, it's been very boring in music news here recently. Ever since the beef died down, nobody wants to do anything else. But with that being said, in new releases, I'm actually going to talk about what's coming up. I don't want to talk about what released this past weekend because I still have a lot of albums to listen to. And I got 2 stories for you guys. Let's get into it.
New releases.
All right, so this week I'm doing something a little bit different. I want to talk about up and coming albums. Like, it was a lot of announcements this past week that people just dropped announcements last week, and I want to talk about what's going on in the fourth quarter. New albums that I'm ready to listen to. I'm anticipating, and I think you guys should be looking out for as well. Let's go start off with the obvious one. Tyler, the Creator, actually said he's going to drop a new album. It's called Chromacopia. Come up with an easier name, my nigga. Chromacopia is coming out on October the 28th, a Monday. He's doing something that's not non-traditional, even though it used to be like this back in the day. That's why I like Tyler, the Creator. He thinks outside the box, and he's trying to change the way we listen to music. I love the fact that he's going to do this, man. The rollout was pretty dope. He dropped a video on his Instagram, and I think we're going to get something special here. This is going to be his 8th studio album. I literally said on my Instagram last week, right before the announcement, I was like, I was listening to old Tyler, and I posted Smuckers on my stories, and I was like, Tyler, it's time for new music. Like, we're ready. It's time. And 2 days later, he just announces this new album. I'm excited. Something that a lot of people aren't talking about, which I think it should be said, this is going to be executive produced by Kanye West. That's interesting. Kanye West will be the executive producer of this album, and I don't know how I feel about that. With the song that he dropped on his Instagram, it feels like it's gonna feel a whole lot different than what we've seen. He's already put out some bundles. He just dropped a list of acts that's going to be at Camp Flognog, which I think that festival is going to be awesome. This album is going to be a lot different than what we've heard from Tyler before. But one thing about Tyler that I like, he changes his style almost every album. Like, none of his albums are the same. If you go back through the history of Tyler, the Creator, which I kind of want to rank his albums. I really want to do a Tyler, the Creator ranking. But he changes his sound, or he changes his none of his albums sound the same, and that's what I like about it. He has a distinct sound. He does what he wants to do when it comes to music, but I love the fact that Tyler doesn't do the same thing, and that's what makes me love his music so much. And I love him as an artist because he loves music. So I'm excited about this. I'm excited to see what we're gonna get, because if he's linking up with Kanye and Kanye's executive producing this album, we're probably going to get something that's like out of this world. So I can't wait for that. The next announcement we got was Ab-Soul. He's going to be dropping a new album called Solo Burger. Now, the last album he dropped was in 2022. Now, if you're familiar with how TDE drops, typically TDE takes a long time to drop albums. Like, 2022 was when Herbert came out, which I think was a very underrated album. It was Ab-Soul did his thing, one of my favorite Ab-Soul albums. And for him to come out so fast, that's just not the TDE way. But he announced the album coming out, and then he announced he dropped a song called All That with Jason Martin. Shout out to the West. If you guys did not watch my video, I did a video about the most underrated albums, and Jason Martin's album is on there, Chupacabra. Y'all need to listen to it if you want some good West Coast music. But I'm getting off point. Ab-Soul dropping something this fast is just not the TDE way. And I think they're doing something different, and I like the fact TDE has been dominating this year, whether y'all want to believe it or not. I still have Blue Lips as the best album of the year. I would say Vince might be second, going back and re-listening to Vince's album. The fact that we're getting a new Ab-Soul, and we're getting it fast too. The album's going to drop November the 8th. And I'm really anticipating what he's going to have on there. If it's anything like some of the features he's done this year and what we know what Solo's been putting out, probably going to be one of the best albums of this year. And I'll have to rethink my top 10 because right now my top 10 is tight. I like the fact that he's dedicating this to his homeboy he lost in 2021. His name was Doughburger. And I like the fact that he's dedicating that to him as well. So I have I'm super excited to hear what we're going to get from Ab-Soul. And hopefully it'll be just as good as Herbert. If you haven't heard Herbert, go back and listen to Herbert, bro. That album was so good. That album was amazing. Go back and listen to that album, man. It was one of the most underrated albums that came out that year. All right, so next up, Meg Thee Stallion is going to drop her Act 2 October the 25th. I got to be honest, Act 1 was actually pretty good. Not the best album, not the worst album. It was okay. I think this one is going to be way more high energy. I think she's going to have way more high tier features on there. And I think the rapping is going to be better. If you heard her feature on Glorilla's album, I think you know where she's going to be coming from. I just want more Tina Snow. I want old school Meg Thee Stallion. I want rapping Meg Thee Stallion back. Like, I don't know. I miss that side of her. Meg is a great artist. When you think about it, she can actually fucking rap, bro. So I'm really excited to hear what she does in the Act 2, which she's dropping 2 albums in 1 year. I think that has a lot to do with her being an independent artist as well, being able to do what she wants to do. The tour was very successful. Her features have been great. I want to hear what Meg has to do, especially coming off of listening to Glorilla's album, which I think personally, the more I listen to Glorilla's album, the more I love it. That album is fire. She did a fantastic job, and I really enjoyed Glow's album. So if we get that from Glow, I think we can get the same thing from Meg. But I'm super excited to hear what's going to come out of Meg the end of this year or this fourth quarter. All right, and finally, the last album I wanted to talk about was Westside Gunn, Still Praying. It's dropping on November the 1st. I think this might be his best album. I think this might be one of his best. I'm really anticipating this because Westside has had his hands on a lot of things this year. And for some strange reason, Pray for Paris is one of my favorite albums. And I think this is a sequel to that. I can't wait to see what Westside Gunn drops. He's always in the middle of something. Like he currently has a shoe collab coming with Saucony, which I think is going to be fire. I seen it on his Instagram. Sold. You're gonna get my money regardless. And I think that's a big part of just who he is. He's always moving forward with music, with fashion, culture in general. He's always been forward thinking with that. So I think this album is gonna be good. I hope that he has more really good features on here too. I think the beats are gonna be awesome. He really hasn't really announced who all are gonna be doing the production, but you know, out of the Griselda boys, I like when I hear Westside Gunn's music. He's just different, man. He's on a different level than a lot of other people. Benny's been doing a really good job this year too with some of the stuff he's been dropping outside of his Def Jam album. God, but when the Griselda boys get out there and start doing stuff, man, you gotta listen. And when Westside Gunn puts something out, man, I most definitely am on the forefront of trying to get it. So those are some albums that I'm anticipating that's coming out in the fourth quarter. We still probably have a lot more announcements that's gonna come out, but right now these are the main ones that really caught my attention. Let me know what you think in the comments of what is there an album that's coming out that you're anticipating that's supposed to be dropping this year? Tell me in the comments and maybe we can have a conversation about it.
Music news.
All right, so first up, Gucci basically dropped his whole label. Gucci dropped his whole label, and I have no idea why. Last week he dropped a video. I actually seen it on Twitter, but this is the video he dropped last week.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Listen, I wanted to make this announcement on 10/17 yesterday, but I just seen like my statement, my P&L with all my artists. You know, it's almost like a whole bunch of shakeup and it's a whole shit show in the industry right now. But when I look at my P&L and me being a businessman, I think that I'm gonna have to release almost all my artists except for Pooh Shiesty and Fujiano. This is a decision I didn't want to make. I thought about it, you know what I'm saying? I could keep all of them under the contract. But I said, hey, fuck it. Let's just make the unselfish decision and, let them take their talents elsewhere. So today, you know what I'm saying, I already reached out to all of my artists, you know what I'm saying, to their lawyers and whatever, and let them know that they're free to take their talents elsewhere. And I'm still looking for new talent to pair up with, you know what I'm saying, Pooh and Fu, and that's where I'm gonna put my focus. And I just wish them the best. And I just want to let everybody know that, because, hey, that's where we at.
So, yeah, he basically got rid of his whole roster on 1017. The only two people he's keeping is Pooh Shiesty and Fujiano. And I don't know how to take this, or if this is something that he wanted to do. It's an odd situation because he's saying he's still looking for talent. I have no idea what some of these people who have labels are doing. He said he looked at the P&L statement. He said it ain't looking so hot. Like, you crafted this whole roster. You brought in all of those talents. And now you're going to let all of them go because your P&L statement don't look good? Like, I don't really understand what's going on here. I know the music industry is in a bit of a reckoning right now, but dropping your whole label. Now, I think there were some of his former artists that actually got online and had some comments about this. I couldn't find any of the videos. If I do, I might post them later on. I might comment on them later on. But this is sad and fucked up. How is it that Gucci Mane can sit up here and crush a lot? I ain't gonna say he's crushing people's dreams because he's saying that he talked to their lawyers and they can go elsewhere. But some of the talent that he got, can they go elsewhere? Can they thrive in some other label? Some of these artists didn't even get a chance to put their music out. I think, I don't know what to think. I've never seen this before in my life as far as when it comes to people who own their own labels and trying to cultivate their own shit that's going on, and then sticking with just Pooh Shiesty and Fujiano, who let's not trip. They both have legal issues. Some of these people, like, I think, is Pooh Shiesty still in prison, right? Yeah, he's still serving a prison sentence, if I'm not mistaken. What is he doing? Is the music industry gotten so bad that you got to get rid of your whole label? Is he really not making money? And on top of that, I could have swore a few months ago, Gucci Mane actually had a video with him and his wife counting up money, saying they was going to sign new artists, and actually, I think, give him $1 million. If I'm not mistaken, give him upfront $1 million. This is another reason why I always say you just don't sign the artist, man. Active artists. I haven't seen an active artist treat talent good yet. I think maybe the only person will probably be Rick Ross, and I'm pushing the line when I say that. But if you're an artist out there and you get signed to another artist who's still active, you can forget actually getting treated in a fair way or actually getting treated in a good way. This is some bullshit. And if I was his artist who got let go, I would be pissed off. I would be mad, and I'll be trying to figure out how I don't know. I signed under you and you let me go. And if it's a certain situation where you didn't even let me release my album, I just don't get it, man. I don't understand what these people are doing. I don't know if he's joking. I don't know what he's doing. But I think this is a really piss poor way to let your artist go, or this is a piss poor way to handle your business as a businessman or as a label, as somebody who owns a label. So I don't know. I'm gonna put a pin in this, but 1017 has always gotten a bit of a bad rep because of who he signs. He also get a bad rep because of things that's happened to people who's already been on that label. He's had a couple people die while they've been on his label. And for him to just let all of these other artists go without actually having a rhyme or reason behind it, that shit ain't right. It's nothing fair about that. So hopefully we'll see what goes on. Hopefully Gucci can give us a better explanation, especially when he says, I'm going to try to sign new talent. Like, why? You can't even hold on to the talent that you got. And one of your dudes that you're keeping is in prison, and the other one, I don't remember the last time he dropped an album. So hopefully we'll get to see what reasoning Gucci has behind this if he later on is explained. But none of that shit seems fair to me. All right. Finally, Tommy Richman said he's going to submit $1 Million Baby for the rap category and the Grammys. Now, if you guys remember, because I covered it on the show a few episodes ago, Tommy Richman said, I'm not hip hop. He had a back and forth with DJ Head, which I don't really want to get into it because it was a long back and forth about him saying, well, I'm not hip hop, then double back and saying I'm not solely hip hop. Which means that he doesn't know what the fuck he is at all. And now he's going to be submitting his song $1 Million Baby for Best Rap Song and Best Melodic Rap Performance. Bullshit. You didn't want to be labeled a hip hop artist. You didn't want to be labeled as somebody in the rap genre. You're labeled as an R&B artist, by the way, but you're not R&B either in my eyes. Put him in the pop category. I know who he signed to. He signed to Brent Faiyaz. I keep telling people that, and I think they look at who he signed to. But when you listen to his music, have you heard Coyote, by the way? Does that sound like an R&B album? It doesn't to me. So now we're at the point where you didn't want to have the stink of being called a rap artist or a hip-hop artist, and now you're submitting your music to hip-hop. Man, I said this in the last one in the Tommy Richman episode. Stop using us. We are horrible gatekeepers. We continue to let people come in and say, hey, man, like, I'm not hip hop or I'm hip hop. And then they take our sauce and they put it somewhere else. Now you're going to submit your albums for best rap song and best melodic rap performance. The fuck out of here. You said he also is going to be submitting $1 Million Baby for Record of the Year, Song of the Year. And he's going to try to be submitted for Best New Artist. At this point, you need to figure out what side you on and you need to stand on that. Because at the end of the day, you said it yourself. I'm not a hip hop artist. And then you had to double back because your people seeing you looking stupid out here on Twitter. And you had to say, I'm not solely a hip hop artist. Bruh, just say what you're doing. I'm using your culture to win awards and move forward. And I think we can respect you a whole lot more if you say something like that. Like sitting up here trying to debate whether he's hip hop or not. Hell, it shouldn't even be a debate. I don't like it. I think you're using us to elevate who you are because we have all the sauce. We're the people with what makes things cool, and you're using us. It's just another artist that's coming into our culture, using what we have, and just saying, well, you know. I want to see what the first week sales are on Coyote, by the way. And I wanted to see what he blames, whether it was a flop or not, on hip-hop or being called a rap artist. Because 9 times out of 10, when it doesn't do as well, it's because, they mislabeled me in a different genre. Or, oh, man, like, I just don't know what happened. Like, I don't even know what the first week numbers are. Still haven't listened to Coyote. I'm kind of disgusted at the fact that he still thinks he's somebody who can come into our culture and take what he wants. But if you're going to be submitting $1 Million Baby to Rap Album of the Year, man, you can keep that. We didn't ask for it. We didn't label it that. That's on Billboard or whoever else does the labeling of these songs. Again, I thought he was labeled as R&B. I thought he was an R&B artist. But what he's labeled and what he really is two different things. He's a pop artist, bruh. Stop putting these people in our categories because of who they're signed to or what you think the music might sound like. And it might be on his label. They might have labeled him an R&B artist and gave him the opportunity to be on the black side of town. Man, I'm done with this bullshit. Can we figure out how to gatekeep a little bit better so we can actually not have people use our culture to be able to win awards and move forward in their careers and then throw us away like we're just yesterday's trash? That's all I'm asking. I don't think that's a hard thing to ask for. All right, guys, that's all I got for this week. I should be doing a second episode. I didn't do a second episode last week, but I'm going to do 2 episodes this week. So make sure you be on the lookout on Wednesday for the next episode. And please, guys, subscribe to the channel, grow this thing, be a part of the society. Make sure you guys check out the Patreon. That's where all the extra content drops first. We should have a new episode of the Hip Hop Survival Guide coming out this week. So go check it out. It's $1. It's $1. You got $1. Go subscribe to the Patreon. I'll catch you guys next episode. Peace out.
Thank you for joining the STEM Society.